there was still blood. There was still blood on the streets there. Alex Pretty's blood was still left on the streets. I don't know for how long, but at least for several hours after his killing, it was still there in the snow. Now, where we left and we've come back, and what you see here that's grown around us is a visual of community residents, demonstrators who are pissed off. This community has been touched and traumatized now with two deaths at the hands of federal immigration officers. They are at the nexus of the largest federal immigration operation in the history of America, and they have felt it now. Yesterday, it goes without saying, this was the largest general strike that we'd seen. I think over 100 years here in Minnesota, 700 people, 700 businesses shut down for the day, and we saw a large crowd at the Target Center. The flashpoint earlier this week was the abduction of Liam Conejo Ramos, the 5-year-old from Valley View Elementary. And we took you there and introduced you to his principal, showed you his empty locker, his little stuffy, his dinosaur stuffy, his favorite blanket that he left behind. That was just earlier this week, if you could believe it. And then today, this morning, this community wakes up to the death of killing of Alex Pretty. And what has transpired in the hours since is social media video that has gone viral and hasn't really been shown as much as I understand by the mainstream. That viral video has been slowed down to emphasize points where it appears that as though a federal officer disarmed Pretty took a gun from his waistband, and then those fatal shots were fired. Those videos have been posted on our social media. You want to go check that out, nickvalencianews.com. See everything out there. It's all for yourself for you to see. The awful reality, though, is in America now, there are two realities. There's the version of what we see with our eyes, and then there's the version that comes out from the federal government. After the shooting of Alex Pretty, the 37-year-old VA nurse, Greg Bovino, who a lot of people know by name now and certainly by face, was the Border Patrol commander, he, spun this narrative to say as though Alex Pretty and his colleagues or peers, rather, were starting a riot or that they were stopping rioters. I didn't see that. I doubt anyone else did, but the Fed or those that, parrot their story. So now what you have here is, a visual that's turned into sort of a rally. People who are coming to pay their respects while at the same time voice their frustrations. I'm going to turn the camera on here so you guys can see that camera. Here we go. Let's see this here. Handles for Alex Pretty. Some of the messages: enough is enough, ICE out. Alex Pretty, in solidarity, rest in peace, rest in power, do justice, love, kindness, abolish ICE. A sign here that says Alex should be here. And earlier when we were at the Whipple building, somebody said we were at the scene of the shooting. And, I said, which one? There's been 2 people that have been killed here. Literally, people are dying. Their neighbors are being killed or abducted, and this is all being justified in the name of Trump's mass deportation policy. If you guys are just joining us here, I'm Nick Valencia, and I'm an independent journalist here on the scene of what was a shooting scene, a homicide scene here earlier today. We got reports just about 10 a.m. this morning of a shooting. That video started posting to social media, and it spread like wildfire. As that community started to learn about this, more people started to fill out. We showed up here about 15 minutes after the shooting happened. I would say 20 minutes perhaps after the shooting happened. And, we brought you some really exclusive access behind police lines as those demonstrators clashed with police. These are those same streets that you guys saw all that action unfold on our live earlier today. Just keep walking around here. I want to give you guys some more perspective. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? How are you? It's Matt Wagner with Al Media. What's up, my brother? How you doing, dog?
Can't feel my face.
Oh, God. Okay. Here we go. It's Matt Wagner. If you guys, Matt Wagner photos. He's with our Al Media Collective, independent journalists. Stick together, man. We're all out here on our own dime, but it's better to be, basically in a community than it is not to be, right? And we sometimes share reporting, share photos. Matt has been out here documenting it. Matt, you want to tell me what you saw earlier? We were talking earlier at lunch. I want to interview you, man. We were talking earlier at lunch, and you were telling me that you saw actually a live weapon, an assault weapon used against a demonstrator.
Yeah, I don't know what provoked
You want to hold this while I put my glove on? Go ahead.
I don't know what provoked it. But I heard whistles going off and I ran down and then the assault weapon was raised. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
My mouth is we've been out here for an hour and a
Out there a
half.
long time.
But
It's cold, guys. Also, on top of that,
he had raised the assault weapon. I'll have pictures tomorrow. But
Great.
raised the assault weapon and charged at the guy. He just had his hands up, knew he was in trouble. And
The guy, I was a young kid too. It was a young man who.
yeah, I couldn't tell because he had a pink
Yeah.
mask
Okay,
on.
got it. But I mean, the photo that he showed us at lunch is
Under 30.
it's basically a demonstrator who came out here, part of that early wave of demonstrators, and an assault weapon put up against his chest. You know, the barrel of the gun put up against his chest. You know, it's one thing for those flashbangs to go off. It's one thing for the tear gas canisters,
Right.
you know, the rubber bullets. But then, like, when you look at
See that, and it gets
Yeah.
real. It gets real then, and especially within an hour of the shooting, it's like
is it going to
what's
happen
on
again?
here? You know, what are we doing? This is insanity. It's just I'm speechless, to be honest with you.
No.
This isn't the America I know, and it's sad and angry, and then you have this amazing community here that shows up for their people. And I've lived all over the country, from California to New York City, and this community is
Isn't it so special,
nothing
dude?
short of miraculous. And what they've taken as far as abuse, and this is how they're dealing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I think the feeling and the sentiment is they're trying to sort of agitate this community into reacting in a way where they could justify using military force, potentially more lethal force, you know, bringing out, you know, effectively speaking, the big guns, you know, which brings me to my topic about the National Guard, man. You were there at the Whipple building a little bit before I was. I saw those vehicles there. You know, what do we know about the National Guard being here?
We don't know much. We tried to get up and talk to them, but they're not saying anything other than we're here to keep the peace.
Okay.
Which, what does that mean?
Yeah. Does that mean that they're on the side of the citizens or are going to be on the side of the feds, you know,
Right.
to protect federal property?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane, man. Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Other than just stay tuned, share this, get it out to as many people as possible. This community is really they're strong, but they can always use support from the outside. Just let them know that
Absolutely.
you're with them. And that goes for the world. You know, it always is nice when we get messages from Norway or Australia or Ireland saying, "What we see it. We see it happening, and you guys are doing the right thing." So yeah, just let them know you're with them.
How can we follow you, man? Keep up your work.
At Matthew.Wagner photos on Instagram. Creating a Substack, doing a little more writing, but of course, always follow us at Out Media.
Yeah.
And that'll be your one-stop shop for everything.
That's excellent. That's my peer, Matt Wagner. We'll catch up with you a little later, man. I'll holler at your peer at Al Media, our independent media collective that we're just all part of, just a sort of fellowship community. And, there's speaking of community, there certainly is it's just a beautiful community reaction out here, considering the tragedy that they went through, considering just how, just how much they've been through the last week, you know. Let's see if we can talk to some more people here who, or we can go down and show you this perspective as well. Let's do that. So we are now on the streets here of uptown Minneapolis, where earlier today there was a shooting, and you have people that are pissed. Some graffiti here. I mean, they want revenge. They want retaliation, and honestly, there was some fear among. I was talking about Matt Wagner. We were at lunch, and there was rumors starting to circulate that there was messages being spread on social media to ask Second Amendment, American citizens to flood Minnesota to come here and potentially confront law enforcement. At times when we were in this atmosphere, it felt like a war, man. It felt like a civil war. And when we were at Whipple, when we were talking to those individuals there at Whipple, one of them said, we're not kind of in it. We are. We are. Yeah. And parts of the country that are in it. Sorry. So these are barricades that were set up earlier today that have remained. And you saw Alex Balot, who was one of those LA activists who we had profiled earlier this year. sort of lead the movement here, lead the gathering. These barricades have created this sort of safe space. Individuals here who are addressing the community and are rallying around the community here. All right, guys, I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see. There we go. So this is the demonstrators here. Got mattresses. They're using the trash cans as drums, and they're addressing the crowd here. This was where we were at earlier when, just on the other side over there was where the flashbangs were lit and set off. And it was right here that the Border Patrol agents didn't want to let us get any further. And then this is the crowd that's left here. We'll just continue to walk around. Again, it's turned into sort of like a visual and a rally. People coming out here to reflect and think about, what their community has gone through, and just wonderful, wonderful stepping up of people. Members, I believe. Are you part of the Somali community out here? Oh, this is so wonderful. What is this here?
Oh, this is sambusa. It's called sambusa.
And you just did this because you wanted people fed.
Exactly.
Are you a restaurant owner here or anything?
No, I make these at home.
You made them at home.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Tell me about what you've gone through here. Tell me about how it's been,
Honestly speaking, it was like really hard for us today. And I was literally at the mosque this morning and I heard about Alex. And honestly, Alex kind of similarly looks like my teacher, my math teacher in high school. And he has the same name as him. I had to contact him on
Did you think it was your high school teacher?
It was like that's what I thought at first, and then I contacted him on Facebook and I asked him, "Hey, Alex, are you still alive?" And he was like, "That's not me."
Oh
We
my
just have the
God.
same name." And they kind of look alike.
They're,
Look
they're
like
similar. Gosh.
And it was just so stressful.
I mean, it's been stressful because, do you feel safe
I
walking
don't-
around?
I genuinely don't, because Alex Petty is literally a citizen, and this is his country. When he was helping those two women out, he did not think he would be killed at all, because he thought this was his country and he's safe to help other people, other immigrants. But if this country's people isn't safe, I don't feel safe.
Do you know what I heard and what I feel as a brown man?
What?
Is if they do this to a white man in the streets in broad daylight, what do they do to people of color behind closed doors?
Literally, and it's just depressing, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
I've been out of tears.
Yeah.
To just this point, I'm just too cold to even cry.
Any message that you have for people that are watching this and are listening?
Stay encouraged, because everyone is out here today for safety and to fight against those violence. And I hope this has an end to it, because our little kids are literally worried about their parents going out every single day.
Every
thinking
day.
Their parents are not going to come back home. So I really hope this ends. Really hope this
God
ends.
bless you. Can you say your name?
My name is Nadran.
Nadran.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nadran, for taking the time with me. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
What's your name?
I'm Nick Valencia, Nick Valencia News. You could follow there. Okay, thank you so much. And you see the impact of the community, it's almost like if you just ask people how they're doing, they're on the verge of tears. That's how they're doing, How much further is it going to go? How much more of this are they going to take? What is going to be the response to all of this happening, Where does the line get drawn for these residents here who have been persecuted? I mean, that is I think that's a fair question, and I think something that a lot of people are asking themselves here. And I think the leadership in the state and there we go. The leadership in the state and locally, I think they're nervous about that because they know that this community, they do come together, they support their own, and it's like, what's going to happen next? Will the response be one met with an equal but opposite force? It's just awful. And look, this community isn't burning any buildings. They're not looting. There's no rioting. There's nothing. Once the federal immigration officers that they had a problem with left, this turned into sort of a gathering here, like a block party. They are not here to destroy property. They're not here to ruin anything other than to be around people and say, enough is enough. Like, what do we do? What are your ideas? How do we move forward together? some people, I'm sure, have no idea what else to do but to come out here and just sort of connect with one another because they have been through so much trauma and they have been through so much pain here. For those of you who are just joining, I'm Nick Valencia, and I'm an independent journalist out here at the scene of what was the site of the shooting and killing of Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old VA nurse who was out here in the community when I showed up. Federal immigration officers showed up, rather, and there was a tussle between him and the agents, one of whom had pushed down a woman. And it appears that Alex Preddy had done a chivalrous thing and trying to get in the way between these agents and the woman, trying to shield her from whatever agent they were spraying on her, chemical agent. And then, in this video that was slowed down, looks as though, okay, he has a firearm on him. It was legally held. It looks as though it was removed from his waistband by one of these officers. And then they fire the fatal shots. It's so ugly and tragic. It really is. And there's sort of, golly, it's kind of hard to fathom that like another person has been killed here on the streets. People feel less safe. I mean, that's the irony of this all. It's like there's more law enforcement on the streets, but somehow people feel less safe. Think about that. Like if this is all about law and order and making the country feel safer and ridding us of our, these invaders or whatever they're called by people who support this. Why then here are so many people nervous and scared for their neighbors and loved ones? Why are there so many signs in these businesses like this one here? It says neighbors say ice out, and you have people who are coming together here because they are depending on each other. And in Spanish, they say solo el pueblo salva al pueblo. Only the people will save each other. They have been felt like they were left down. And part of the frustration that happened earlier that we were seeing was that it seemed as though the state and local agencies were protecting the federal officers who were the target of the ire of these demonstrators. And that pissed people off, especially because the mayor has been so outspoken here. The leadership, the Democratic leadership has been so outspoken here about what they don't like seeing here. They have tried to get ICE to get out of here and Border Patrol to get out of here and have Gregory Bodino remove his men and agents from the streets. And then you see the local and state police, it appears, sort of protecting the feds. I mean, it was a tense, chaotic situation in atmosphere earlier. Some of you guys who are watching now, I'm sure saw it all unfold in my live. And this is what the scene is now. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy. All right, guys. I'm going to turn the camera around, check my phone messages. Alex Preddy. 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 Guys, if you're just joining us here, we're at the site of 26 and Inlet, where Alex Preddy was shot and killed by federal immigration officers earlier today. And it has turned into a vigil, somewhat of a rally. And a lot has transpired in the last couple of hours here. We're going to walk and talk as we talk and sort of get away from the scene here. All right. My friend Andy McIntyre just sent me a message to point out it was earlier that the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, reportedly sent a letter to Governor Tim Walz and said that the Trump administration would remove the federal immigration officers and shut down this largest federal immigration operation in the history of America if Minnesota turned over its voter rolls. Okay, that's. I'm sure some of you have read that by now, but if you want to hear that again, the Attorney General of the United States sent a letter to the governor of Minnesota saying, we'll remove all the immigration agents if you just give us your voter rolls. Okay. As I say that and walk away from 26th and Nicollet, we've got more people here showing up, more demonstrators going to the vigil here, and more, it seems, independent journalists, documentarians, content creators, all that stuff. And then someone without a jacket. Gosh, not cold. Holy cow. Okay. It's like in the single digit temperatures over here. They've got some fires going on as well. People just getting warm. You mind if I get warm a little bit here? Oh my gosh, it's so cold. How cold is it? Has anyone checked?
Yeah, do you want a cupcake?
Oh, do I want a cupcake? Yeah, I mean, kind of. I kind of do, yeah.
Let's think to do something. I'll fucking shove a fucking.
Are these like
cupcakes in my
normal cupcakes? Like nothing in them?
cupcakes from the closest fucking town that won't like fucking support bacon?
Okay, all right, cool.
No, they're normal.
Oh, they're not. Okay, good. Yeah. No. I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you.
Bar, like these kind of.
She's trying to one of them.
Anyone want one or need one?
I love it. Or-
That are good for the lungs if you're worried about it's not. Yeah. I'm an ethnobotanist. So
I'm an independent journalist, man. My name's Nick Valencia. I'm just streaming.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about why you came out here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let me put my glove on here really quick so I don't freeze.
I'm not that good at talking, but I'll try.
Oh, it's okay. Speak from the heart, bro. Speak from the heart.
Not when it's this cold out.
Oh, the best interviews are ones that are real and real conversation. So I'm Nick Valencia. I'm an independent journalist. I was out here about 15 minutes after the shooting.
Yes.
Did all that stuff earlier. How soon did you get out here? Why did you come out?
I got out here around 11:30 when we were over at Pillsbury.
Yeah.
Pillsbury, yeah. I was at home. I saw the video about 15 minutes after it happened. I think I don't remember at this point. It's too cold. It's too.
My God, it's
Yeah.
so cold. Were you hit with any chemical irritants?
I was.
Describe what you went through. You saw it happen here, but describe what you went through.
offer my
Part of it.
So it was my first time being tear gassed. It's done really bad. I've been doing photography out here. Updating a Telegram channel that I run.
Oh, awesome.
At that, I couldn't even handle my camera. It was so much of an irritant.
You were that upset and that bothered by the smoke and everything.
Yeah, that by the smoke. Yeah.
They roughed me up. They were going after independent journalists. I had to constantly remind them who I was and show them my badge. And even that, this is a second backup badge. So they ripped off my other one.
Yeah.
What's it like through all this? The largest federal immigration operation.
So I moved here. I moved here in 2023 at the end of 2023. And Minneapolis quickly became a home to me. Everybody was so welcoming. Every person that I met was so welcoming, so kind.
That Minnesota nice is real.
Yeah, it is real. It is real. Minnesota nice is real.
I lived on West 28th Street up on 2004. I was here in Uptown, and then I heard it, got shitty, and then it's back, and I don't know. At least it's not a homeless encampment anymore or whatever. But there was Minnesota nice, right?
I live over in one of the suburbs, but all my friends are in Minneapolis. My hairdresser is in Minneapolis. My favorite restaurants are in Minneapolis. I live here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my home, and I'm gonna fight like hell for it.
It's how much more can you take? You have Liam taken this week. You had Renee Good killed right before that.
Yes.
Now another one of your neighbors is killed. And
Yeah.
I'm what? Where's the line for you guys? How much more is it going to take?
About right after the shooting happened, right after I saw the video,
Now we got you.
I called my grandmother because I know she's.
How are you doing?
I knew there was going to be reporting on this from conservative sources, and she's like diehard MAGA, and
I wanted to get to her quick before these news sources, like any of these conservative news sources could. And I think I finally got to her on this. I think this is a breaking point. I think there's just no plausible deniability on this one. Obviously with Renee Good, they tried to use her car as an excuse.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even hear about who was it? Who was the
Greg Bavino.
no Liam.
Oh, Liam, Keith Porter, or Liam, the 5-year-old, Liam Conejo Ramos, the
Yeah.
5-year-old that was taken from basically Valley View Elementary. He left his driveway.
Okay, that's his name. Okay,
Yeah, the 5-year-old.
I do know that story. Yeah. Yeah,
I swear to
that,
God.
that didn't even get
I
through to
swear to
her.
God. No, fucking
But this today, this execution that happened, it's right down the street right there.
400 yards away from where we're at.
Yeah.
And you know what we think as, brown people in America, if they're gunning white people down, white men in broad daylight, what are they doing to people of color behind closed doors?
Yeah, I mean, there's ICE facility in Texas, and
People don't sleep.
3 people have died there
We still don't sleep.
in the past few months.
I think it's 6 already this year.
But is it 6?
Yeah, not in that facility, but
Right.
overall.
Overall, yeah. Two of them were suicides. I don't know how I feel about that, but
One was ruled a homicide. It would appear as though he was asphyxiated
okay, yeah.
by somebody else. Or ruled it a homicide. So
Yeah.
it's got to be. I think sometimes dealing with MAGA, it's like meet me in the middle and then take a step back.
Exactly, yeah.
I was waiting to hear you finish your story about your grandma because I have people in my life who I think sometimes that some of the stuff will get to them. They need me and they love me, but it's not like they're ever going to get in the voting booth and change their vote to a D from an R or an I from an R.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or vote for the candidate that they really like because they stand hard on abortion or they stand hard on guns or whatever it is.
Yeah, and today I had her watch the uncensored video. It wasn't a very graphic one, so I felt comfortable sending it to her. And which even if it was graphic, I probably would have sent it to her because I feel it's important for people to feel the emotions that I felt watching that video. Watching all of the videos and angles that have come out. If you are mentally well enough and can stomach that, watch the uncensored footage.
And if you want to go see it, you can go check it out. NickValenciaNews.com. Go to my Instagram. It's all there. We put it out there for you to see. Midas Touch slowed it down and show the critical moments where it appears a federal officer removed Alex Pretty's handgun from his waist, and then the shots were fired. So it's pretty, it lays it out in sequence. What I see here also is like when you're talking, each one teach one. You ever heard that? It's like you're like focusing in on hyperlocal on your grandma.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to teach one. It's like each one of us can teach someone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I wish you luck in your fight, man.
Yeah, I've converted my mom.
Okay.
She was a kind of middle of the ground conservative, and I've basically pulled her into leftism.
Well, for some, it's like the Republican Party's unrecognizable.
Yeah. She won't call herself a leftist, but
Okay.
the beliefs that she expresses now and the conversations that I have with her, she is a leftist, and I'm just not comfortable with using that.
She doesn't need a label, man.
Doesn't
It's
really.
in her heart.
It's in her heart. It's in her heart, and that is something that I'm proud of doing. I'm proud of communicating to her. And you can do that. If there's someone that you know deeply, you can pull at their heartstrings and pull them out of this brainwashing that has happened. It's each one teach one. Yeah.
You were too cold to talk, huh? Look at you. Take care, man. Thank you so much for taking the time with Nick Valencia Live. Appreciate that. We stopped here to get warm. We held up. Thank you, man. Thank you guys so much. And these are leftovers. Some of these barricades here left over from what happened earlier. It's turned into a campfire. They're hanging out. It's a rally outside. It's a cool, kind of get together in some parts. In other parts, it's this sort of reflective atmosphere. And then in other parts, people are they're just fucking pissed. All right. So, I thought that kind of gave you a good sense of what the scene is like. We wanted to go down and talk to some people. hear what people were feeling, see what was going on down here. The whole time, I should point out that a helicopter, it would appear a law enforcement helicopter is just sort of hovering over steadily, keeping an eye on things. And there's a lot of road closures. So if you are watching us here in Minneapolis and planning on coming down here to the scene and checking out what people are doing, just be prepared for some road closures. I'm Nick Valencia, independent journalist, host and founder of Nick Valencia Media. Man, what a last 24 hours. What a time in our country. What a really, really difficult moment for Minnesota and for the families of those who have been directly impacted by this. I had somebody, a friend of mine, reach out to me. Several of you guys did, watching our reporting earlier. And, somebody said, "Oh, you're so brave, man." And that's not, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I hear that. And part of my ego is like, "Oh, yeah, that's so cool." But man, I am literally, there's a moment to meet in this country, and we are trying to meet the moment. I will never get tired of saying that because it's the damn truth. It's what is happening. To see more and more, I think what our part is in this is that there are people who had no idea what independent media was, what Substack was, but they knew that I was no longer at a job that I'd been at a long time, and they knew that I was a journalist that they could trust. And what we have built here in the last 7 months is strictly because of what is happening out there in the country. And to step into this moment and to speak truth to power and to also be really confident in our moral clarity of what this is. I get harassed more than I ever have. Some of it's really personal and hateful. And as much as I don't try to read the comments, it ends up happening. Or sometimes, people will message me. No one's ever really confronted me so far. It's, mostly keyboard warriors. But, initially it was scary. I'm a people pleaser, man. I like to make people happy. And for a long time, I worked within the margins of an employer. And as scary as it was to step into my own voice and to step into the void here that has been left behind by, a lack of some reporting here, we feel like we are making a difference. Those videos, a lot of them, you didn't see anywhere else but from independent journalists. And it goes without saying that independent media matters. And thank you guys so much for making us matter. I'm Nick Valencia signing off here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where earlier today, 37-year-old Alex Pretty was shot and killed by federal immigration officers. It has led to protests in the streets and now a rally, really a vigil at the site of where he was shot and killed. Tomorrow is another day here in Minnesota. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for helping us make truth go viral. Please like, share, subscribe, and continue to watch here as we continue to report from the ground. As always, guys, have a great day on purpose.